Hey everyone, it's Mizarek here. I forget how exactly I came across it, but I found a YouTube channel called Messiah of Keck. He has a slightly similar format to mine, so I checked out some of his videos. At one point I noticed that he made a video on popular YouTuber Mac Does It, a YouTuber who, at one point, was practically the only YouTuber I watched. I could tell that it was controversial before even watching it, but here's my response.
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Video where I just sit here and talk about some stuff, and I feel like a very unorthodox video like this isn't deserving of a regular day. So the weekend. No fancy setup. My room's a mess. That's another story we're not going to get into.
Now, Mac, you know that you should clean your room before trying to change the world. Or else the lobsters are gonna eat you or some shit like that.
Is that really the best joke you could come up with, man? Like, I honestly feel pity for you right now. 25 seconds in and I'm already in pain. It sounds like something an elementary school kid would say. Like, I know you're trying to diss him, but you're just making yourself look bad. I'll give you another try.
However, before we go any further, introductions are in order. This young gentleman is known online as Mac Does It, who, if you already don't know, based off of the YouTube's gay pride promoted content, is a gay, black content creator, who has had a less than unanimously well-received review of his video, which YouTube, in their unashamed attempts of working towards greater representation towards minoritized peoples, echoing down from their earlier attempts this year for Black History Month with this seemingly universally disliked tweet urging people to subscribe to black content creators simply based on the merit by which they are black. However, seeing as Mac's content is being shoved down our throats anyway, let's take a moment to chew on what exactly he is saying in this video and maybe try to gain a better understanding of this divided like-to-dislike ratio.
First of all, you have no proof of YouTube pushing queers or African Americans. I used to watch Mac frequently and barely got his videos in my recommended section even then. As for the like and dislike ratio, it's really not that bad considering that half of the dislikes are most likely solely because he's gay.
And the problem is, I used to believe that too. It was like 2 years ago where I'd accepted the fact that I was gay. Not because I was denying my sexuality, but because of the fact that I thought I wasn't allowed to be gay.
Based on what exactly, Mac? If it's your race, as I've stated before, I don't think there has ever been a stereotype attached to black people stating that they cannot be gay.
There's many situations where there's no rule against something, but you don't do it because it's frowned upon by society. You wouldn't walk outside in a short skirt and crop top, at least I believe not, because it's frowned upon. You wouldn't go out in public wearing your underwear on your head for the same reason. There's no rule or law against it, but it doesn't seem correct to you. If you've ever wanted to, say, throw something and then thought, well, I shouldn't do that because my parents or teachers would call me out, that's exactly what he felt, just in a different situation and way more severely.
Months ago, I saw a quote that said, "Be the person your younger self needed." And I've taken that so much to heart. The reason I am pushing more content, the reason why I'm stepping up my YouTube game is because I am trying to be that representation my younger self needed years ago. And that representation hundreds of people need now.
It's admirable that you're trying to do this by appealing to your audience with your identity. However, there is definitely such a thing as taking it too far. Let's take myself, for example. I'm a borderline autistic, diabetic, scrawny atheist, white kid, studying to become a writer. Now, how much of that were you able to gather from this video, or maybe some other videos on my channel? Not much, I would imagine, because my racial and religious identity are things that I do not seek to market when producing my content, as this more often than not comes off as pandering, rather than trying to send out a positive message to those around me who might share some of the same qualities as I do. What I would actually be doing is pandering to a very specific and small target audience, whilst also alienating anyone who watches my content and does not fit one or more of the same categories as I do.
This is completely different. Mac is openly gay because it gives younger LGBT audiences representation, but that's not how he markets his channel. Just like PewDiePie is proudly Swedish, but that doesn't mean that non-Swedes feel left out watching his content, or that all of his content is about Sweden. Mac does some videos for the LGBT side of his community, but most of his videos are just average reaction videos to things like funny Japanese commercials.
For a while, people have been speaking about the need for diversity in media. Now it has just come to the point that it seems like Hollywood is trying to shove an agenda down our throats. And we need to fight back on that. I mean, sure, you can point out a handful of successful gay black males in the media, but that is not diversity. Seeing a gay black male appear in media once every 5 years is not equality. It is just them throwing us a bone to shut us up.
So evidently, the claim here is that Hollywood has all these actors on standby who are either black, gay, or both. Yet they don't utilize them due to the fact that liberal Hollywood has an anti-black queer agenda, and whenever a successful gay black actor does come up, it's simply to appease the hounding representation critics. I take two major issues with this. One is purely hypothetical, and the other one is more rooted in reality of the situation, which is that it doesn't have anything to do with race or sexual preference. Rather, it's about casting the best actor to fit a specific role. This is why you sometimes hear people complaining about blackwashing or whitewashing characters in movies, because the actor portraying a certain character isn't the same race as the original character. Who the hell cares? Did the actor do a good job in the movie? If yes, then that's all that matters. I don't go to the movies because a casting decision decided to be inclusive, and I'd hope nobody watching this video is so shallow to actually have their choice of entertainment dictated by these sorts of things, which neither aid nor hinder the actual quality of the movie. But let's move on to my second point and say that you're right in your assertion that this is somehow the way Hollywood functions. The sheer fact that gay black actors are included in these media properties is not enough for you. This sort of thing needs to be commonplace and should envelop entire different subcategories of people to achieve maximum representation? Am I correct in this? Because then it becomes a question of whether you want a higher quantity of black gay actors or a representation of a black, gay, wheelchair-bound tranny who is mentally retarded, because that actor might appeal to a grand total of 3 or 4 people worldwide. Again, though, this is just a hypothetical based on a hypothetical which you just produced for me, and in all likelihood is all just bullshit anyway.
Alright, at this point, it's pretty clear that he's only knocking Mac because he's gay. Obviously, this guy has some issues with homophobia. So I'm just gonna stop there because it's clearly a waste of time. But sorry this video is kinda short. I'll try to get a longer one in. I just haven't really been as inspired lately to make videos. But I'll try to get some out.